2:30, I better put the pedal to the metal here.
I'm Wayne Enger. We're in Ontario. Came up with Greg Kaiser, and we're going to see if we can't shoot some white-tailed deer. Going up with Border Country Outfitters. Great people, great staff, and the country is just fantastic for hunting. 6 days of being up here in this country, I'm loving it.
As Greg and Wayne eagerly unload and scurry to get out for their first afternoon hunt, let's quickly reiterate today's location and timing. Border Country Outfitters is located just north of the Ontario border between International Falls and Baudette, Minnesota. It's October 19th during the archery season, and the trail cam pics don't lie about the quality of trophy bucks hanging around the stands and ground blinds the guys will be hunting over the coming days. Neither do these hero shots of bow hunters from the past. Greg and Wayne's goal over 5 days of hunting is simple: to each get a crack at one of those monster northwestern Ontario whitetail bucks, or at least have a heck of a lot of fun trying. So let's tag along and see how they do.
Night one, just got set up in the ground blind here, out on an alfalfa field. They could be coming from any direction. We'll wait and see. I've never hunted in Ontario before, and when you think of Ontario, you think of big woods, and we got up here and it's the Rainy River District and it's river bottom. About 3 or 4 does coming up through the brush here. And I was really intrigued when I got here because it's a lot more agriculture than you think of when you think of Ontario. Now, there's no shortage of big woods, don't get me wrong, but a lot of agriculture, a lot of fields, alfalfa, clover. The number of deer that are here right now, just incredible. Tons and tons of does. I'd hate to guess how many does we saw.
On the first night, did pass up a young 8-point. It was the first deer that came out, came right by the blind, and took a look at us and boogied out of there. But it was interesting to have him come in and be that close. It was only about a 15-yard shot. So.
It's really great when you can sit in your stand and watch deer activity. Every deer that you see is a learning experience. You watch the dominance chain play out where the big doe comes in and chases off the other smaller does, and then another doe comes in with fawns and chases off that doe to let her fawns eat. There's really nothing like seeing deer doing their thing in their own element right in front of you.
We saw many, many does and fawns right below us. I mean, and it was so cool watching those things with the posturing going on. You could just start to identify what deer really do in the wild.
Well, we're headed out to the stand tonight in search of this deer right here. We were in the stand about 10 minutes after shooting light. This guy shows up, ran all the other deer out, and we knew it was a nice buck, but we couldn't tell what it was. So when we got out of there, we snagged the camera and took a look, and happy to see him. But he came in after dark, so we're going to take the TNT game call in tonight and see if we can coax him out a little earlier.
Both Wayne and Greg are very patient bow hunters, and they're going through the typical process of searching out a variety of stand sites to see where the deer are moving. No, they haven't had fast success. But when it comes to whitetail bucks, monsters seldom just fall into a hunter's lap. The adventure of bow hunting truly does lie in the challenge, which is why these boys are here. So you be sure to stay with us up in Ontario to see how their stories turn out, okay?
Well, we're just heading out. We pre-treated the clothing. Should be good to go, but where he knows the whitetail, it's nice just to do some touch-ups. Make sure you hit the bottom of your boots, maybe your legs, whatever's going to rub against the brush, and do what you can.
Continuing now, prior to getting up into this evening stand, Greg Kaiser puts up a Wildlife Quick Wick scent dispenser loaded with buckfire, a special synthetic estrus scent, which is the only type allowed by law in Ontario. Though it contains no urine or animal byproducts, it still attracts just like estrus scent.
He's coming this way. Check him out, it's a nice 10-pointer, I think. See him coming. There's nothing like bow hunting. There's nothing like it. Buck right there. Yeah, he's coming to the trail. That's a nice one. You have to get so close and be so quiet and do everything right to make it come together. It's a very, very challenging sport, and it really digs into the roots, really in your soul, your predatory instinct. Getting that close, you can get buck fever, you can have things out of your control. Your leg starts shaking, your breathing becomes erratic. There's really nothing like getting close to a big game animal with the bow. There's nothing else like it. That was a dandy. That was a very nice buck. Wow, what a spot.
Bow hunting whitetails, to me, is one of the most exciting sports that I can do. It is a big game species that is readily available. They give me the quivers. I don't care if it's a doe, fawn, a buck, what it is. I can watch them all day long, but when I'm ready to take a shot, I turn to Jello. I did from the beginning, and I still do. And I think if the time ever comes when I don't get that passionate about it and don't get that jittery and don't get that shook up about it, then maybe that's the time to give up the bow. But in the meantime, that's the sport I really love.
Well, I was out the other night on a big popple slash and watching a lot of does, a lot of activity. Oh, not too far before dark, a buck started to make his way across, and there was another one in behind him that I could hear, but I never did see it. He came in behind and took his time. Finally made his way through, and I got a really good look at him. Nice 10-pointer, nice deer, just at his ears. Just wasn't quite what we're looking for.
We did see a few bucks, and the smaller bucks, of course, are always entertaining and fun to watch. But there was a couple of decent ones in the bunch. We did have an 8-point that came by, was fairly heavy. Came straight in on us. Those are the ones that sets your heart racing and turns your knees to jello. That was an opportunity that I probably had, and one of the only opportunities really to take a shot. Fortunately, when it was coming in, it was always head-on shot. When it finally did spin around, I had one opportunity in a very fleeting moment to take a moving, quartering away shot with the heavy timber the way it was, and I just didn't feel it was worth taking the chance of just wounding the animal. So I passed on that, hoping for a better opportunity, and as it turned out, just walked away.
Day 6. It was down to crunch time. We were running a little bit late. The wind was bad for where we wanted to go, so we changed our minds. We had about a 25-minute drive up here.
Good to go.
Should be good to go. Well, we saw a nice one here the other night, so let's see what happens. Boy, we were hustling. We got the ATV off the trailer. We got in, none too early, a little bit late, but got settled in, got quiet, and boy, was it quiet. And boy, we didn't see any does, we didn't see much. We could hear some stuff out in the brush across from us there. And hit the grunt call, hit the TNT grunt call. And within a minute, right below us, I mean right below us, it was at 10 yards before we saw it was there. boot squeaked. He was eyeballing us pretty good. I was shaking. I'm still shaking. My leg is unbelievable right now. He had us made. And he was on his way out. I had to take the shot quickly. I didn't make a good shot, but I hit him, and I'm pretty sure that rage broadhead is going to kill that deer. 2.3-inch cutting. Good broadhead for bad shots. I got my fingers crossed, but I watched him go here. He went about 50 yards, and then he turned left and went kind of slowly. We're going to give him some time and see what happens, but I am a believer in that call right there. I just saw it work, and it's also a real testament to scent control. We treated our clothes before we got here. Really thorough. We got our boots sprayed in here before we got in this morning. The wind's blowing across us here. He got past us, had no idea, so the scent was good. The run was good, everything was good, except for the hunter, but the rage broadhead does its job. We'll have a deer, so. Lots of blood. I think he's down. I think I see him. Yeah, he's laying there dead. He's laying there. I see his rack right at the end of that white thing. Oh, he's piled up. I think that's a dead deer. If I want to get my hands on him here. Good job, brother. Yeah. Congratulations. Wow. Ontario Whitetail. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm so excited. Congratulations. What a beautiful deer. Finally, it's been a week. It's been a week to remember for sure. Battled the weather. Came together this morning, last day of the hunt. Got some weather coming in. Good weather.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much, Steve.
That's the way to do it right there.
Thanks a lot. Oh, wow.
Man, what a body on it. Excellent job. Way to keep it together. I know you were excited. You said you were
just
pumped.
Shaking like crazy.
But you know,
Couldn't
that's
breathe.
why you hunt, right? That's what the hunt is all about. When that moment when the animal comes in and you know you've got a shot presenting itself and kept it together, brother.
Just fantastic.
You kept it together and you got a beautiful buck to show for it.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll get the
Love
tag
it.
on it. Let's go.
Perfect.
Here comes Cecil. Why don't we just wait here and throw it in the back of the player?
That's a good idea.
So that's what you needed help for. I'll be jiggered. Look at the body of that thing. Gotta be 250, 300 pounds. Look at that nice rack.
Well, congratulations, Pop. You put him in a good spot this morning. Right on the money.
Nothing to me, it's the man that made the shot that's important.
Well, I appreciate it. That's very kind.
I'll tell you me. Always feels good, doesn't it, eh? When you
Sure
get
does. Absolutely.
The Great Taste from Chris's Kitchen, brought to you by the Great Taste of Johnsonville Sausage.
Hi gang, get ready because today we're going to be whipping up some awesome peppered venison steak. You know, sometimes I feel sorry for those that don't understand the hunting tradition and who have no direct connection to the foods we eat. Today, Great Kaiser experienced an awesome Ontario whitetail hunt. He took the harvest of the wild game into his own hands and now is enjoying venison at home with his family as a reward. And just the other day, he and I were sharing recipes at our office, and I strongly suggested he give the peppered venison steak a try. Now here's all it takes to make it with some of your own precious venison. I'm gonna turn my burner on high, add a little bit of olive oil, and while that's getting nice and hot, I have a little bit of soy sauce, I have garlic, and ginger, and now I'm gonna just add my venison. I'm just gonna kind of plop it in there and just stir it all around so that it evenly gets coated. Now I'm gonna add it to my skillet. And I'm just gonna leave this cook for a little bit, and I'm gonna start adding all of my wonderful fresh vegetables from the garden. My peppers, I've got green and red, sliced celery, and onion. And while that is cooking, I am going to make my thickening sauce. So here I have a little bit of cornstarch and water, so it'll thicken it nice and it'll make a beautiful gravy. We're ready to pour that in. And at this point in time, this is when I love to add all of my tomatoes. And I love to put it over a bed of white rice, just like that. Peppered venison steak. Yet another fantastic meal, compliments of bow hunting and those of us who are willing to take an active role in the natural harvest of foods we eat.
And how many years have you been hunting?
Oh my, since I was a kid. I'm 72 now, so go back probably we went hunting when we were 8, 9 years old, making drives for the adults. 60 plus years.
So between that and Steve and everybody else that's out here and knows their stuff, we got a lot of years of experience in doing this.
Well, like Robin and Steve and Jordan are good in the bush and they're good at doing the work. You know, that hard work, putting up the stands and got to cut trails or shooting range, they're good at that. They enjoy it. They're all people. And that's really what this business is all about. It's about people, working with people and having fun. And that's really been our goal.
Well, I know just looking at the pictures around camp, you guys really do a good job of killing some nice deer.
We try to make the hunts enjoyable for our hunters. We try to make it our food plots and that so that animals survive the winter and go into the winter in good shape. It's not all just about the harvest. It's the good time and the camaraderie.
Well, I will say that as far as I'm concerned, you do make the guests very welcome, and everything you do to make sure that they're successful is just unbelievable.
If I didn't do a lot of these things, I could maybe have some money left over at the end of the season, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't have a lot of happy guests. And I'm not in it to make money. Obviously, I have to make some money to survive on the whole deal. But my idea is to provide a very economical hunt if we can, and have people hunt and have the joy of hunting.
The joy of hunting in the wilds of the magnificent Ontario bush. That truly is Cecil's golden rule at Border Country Outfitters. It's also the reason why whenever me, my family, or staff have the honor to hunt with them, then it always feels like coming home. I'm Babe Winkelman. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, hey, good hunting.